Okay, so welcome to another video on hotkeys. So this one is for the USA generals. It works for all generals. We'll just get straight into there. So we've got so under buildings we've got D for Dozer. So every time you start a game as USA, you want to be pressing D for Dozer. We've got R for Reactor or a power plant. So nice and easy to remember so far. B for Barracks, just put an S on the end of there. U for Supply, so that's the same across all factions. Just remember that second letter U is the hotkey. If you ever forget what the hotkeys are, you can jump in game and put your cursor over what you want to build, and the letter in yellow will show you what the hotkey is. So we've got M for Patriot, T for Laser Turret. That's actually spelled wrong. Someone spelled that wrong. So you can only build that when you're a laser. M for Patriot is handy if you're the super weapon general, because it's a cheaper Patriot and it shoots EMP bullets. Always remember that the laser turret costs 1,000 and it costs 5 power as well. So I for Firebase, that's the same across all the USAs. That's a nice base defense that doesn't require any power. A for War Factory, so similar to the GLA where the hotkey is A for Arms Dealer, A for War Factory for USA. It's also A for China as well. F is for Airfield. F is nice to remember because of the field. Y for Strategy Center. I always remember that by the strategy. I remember the Y at the end of strategy, and that's how I remember that one. Z for Drop Zone or Supply Drop Zone. I remember the Z. P for Particle Cannon, and C for Command Center. So the C is the same across all factions as well. So from the barracks, the two most common that you will want to build is a Ranger. So the hotkey for Ranger is G, and remember that by the G there. That'll be highlighted in yellow in the game as well. And when you want to flick the Ranger between his machine gun and between his flashbang really quick, you can select him and press M and press F for flashbang. Okay, so next one from the barracks is a missile defender, which is M. Nice and easy one to remember for a missile defender. Those are the two most common units you want to be building for your barracks, so you definitely need to learn those. And then the laser lock key is L, so that's quicker than clicking it down here. If you want to be a top player, you have to use the hotkey L, or you can use one of Zezon's videos to change your hotkey, and I actually changed my hotkey for laser lock to R, which is closer to like the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, which is where I have my hand sitting when I'm playing a game. So N for Colonel Burton. It's not that really easy to remember, but I suppose you could remember the N on the end of Colonel Burton. P for Pathfinder, that's a nice easy one. F for Flashbang Upgrade, and C for Capture Upgrade. So the C for Capture is the same again. The F for Flashbang is quite a handy one. I find myself often building the Flashbang Upgrade, so that's a nice one to get. So from the War Factory then, we've got C for Crusader, nice and easy. V for Humvee, or I just remember it V for V's, and just remember the V there. Paladin, so that's quite a rare one. You don't really need to learn that. You probably never make Paladins unless you're playing around. So P for Paladin. G for Avenger, that's quite a common one, so that's in blue, so it means to learn that one. I remember it by the G there. That's a bit of a spelling mistake. So T for Tomahawk. A for Ambulance, that's another common one highlighted in blue, so learn that. So those two units basically you'll be building a hell of a lot, so learn those. S for Sentry Drone, don't bother learning that and don't bother building it because it's a rubbish unit. M for Microwave Tank, which is quite a nice and easy one. N for Sentry Drone Gun Upgrade, so forget that one as well, don't waste your time with it. And I for the tow missile upgrade for the Humvees. So if you're USA, you're probably going to be going V's, and you're probably going to be upgrading to tow at some point, so maybe learn that one as I for tow. Okay, so for Airfield, I've got T for Raptor. That's the same for King Raptors as well. If you're playing air, you're probably going to be going Raptors at some point, so remember that one is T. B for Aurora Bomber. You generally don't want to be making Aurora Bombs unless you're super weapon general, so I do know that one. I do use the hotkey B, so maybe you could learn that, but it's only for one of the factions. C for Commanche, that's a nice one to know. Stealth Fighter is F. P for Rocketpods upgrade. O for the countermeasures upgrade. That's not laser, that's laser, and that's a spelling mistake as well. So we've got laser missiles, so that's so your Raptors do a bit more damage as L. You know, they do like a 25% extra damage. No, sorry, 12% I think it is. It's a really weird number. U for the bunker buster upgrade, and we've got S for the stealth upgrade for the Comanches. Okay, so for strategy center, we've got, you need to learn these because you'll probably be building the strategy center and you'll probably be using 2 of these. I always remember this one is the most common one, D for search and destroy, because search and destroy is the best one to get because it gives you 20% extra range, so you want to be getting D most of the time. B is probably the second most important one, which is bombardment. It gives you 20% extra firepower, and O gives you 10% extra 10% extra hit points or defense, so hold the line. But yeah, you want to be learning, if any of them, you need to be learning search and destroy. I remember the D for destroy. And then these are all upgrades that you can build from the strategy center. So the mother of all bombs is M. Advanced training A, that's a 1500 upgrade, underused actually. If you go in Comanches or V's, that's a good one to get. It ranks your units up quicker and they're harder to kill. Chemical suits, you don't need to learn that, hardly ever make that, is I. Composite armor for your tanks is P. Supply lines is a good one to get, it's U, so it's you collect 10% extra supplies, so that's good if you're collecting supplies for a long period of time. Drone armor is R, only costs 500, sometimes I do get that. From your supply center, you C for Chinook, and if you're Air Force, you can press T for combat Chinook. I remember the T by combat, I put emphasis on the T, and that's how I remember it. Yeah, so that's all the hotkeys for USA. I will do another one shortly for the remaining army, which is China. So yeah, thank you, hope you enjoyed that. Any comments, leave in the comments below. Please like and subscribe if you like my videos. So yeah, thank you.